What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to Tuesday evening's Anfield Agenda News Roundup, where I'm going to try my best to keep you right up to date with where we are ahead of tomorrow's game against Atletico Madrid. We'll have some words from our captain Virgil van Dijk, some thoughts from Arne Slot. We'll give you what the newspapers are saying. We'll give you an update on who's available and who isn't, and a little gripe that I have with Ibrahim Konate and what he's doing on social media. That and lots more to come over the next few minutes, but you know the score. We want to know your thoughts. Let us know in the comment section. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Want to say a special thank you as well to Connor AM, who jumped on this morning to make sure that he could give you guys a little update and share his thoughts on the Konate situation. Appreciate that from Connor. But more importantly, I appreciate the support you guys show them in the comments. Right, let's get into it. So, Philipp Lahm, of course, a great footballer and somebody who knows what it's like to play at the top level under the scrutiny of the German media. He's talking about Florian Wirtz and his move to Liverpool, and this is what Philipp Lahm had to say. It takes time to fit into a team. It's especially true for a player who makes a difference. So far, Wirtz is getting into his groove and adapting to the intensity of the Premier League. His qualities are becoming increasingly apparent at Liverpool. I agree. I've been very calm about this. Lots of people jumping on Wirtz's back. Not Liverpool fans really, others. But I'm seeing what Philipp Lahm is seeing. Progression when he's out there on the pitch. And I've got no doubt about the man's quality. Now, bit of an update on Diego Simeone's charges for tomorrow and what players he may have available. One player who has been ruled out, according to Lewis Steele and many other journalists, is Julian Alvarez. Transfermarkt say that he hasn't missed a single game since joining them from Manchester City, but he's going to miss this game, so no Julian Alvarez for Atletico Madrid tomorrow. Now, they will pay Atletico Madrid a small little tribute to Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva ahead of the Champions League clash at Anfield on Wednesday. And of course, Diogo represented Atletico Madrid at one point in his career. So a class act and a class gesture from Atleti, and I'm sure it's very welcomed from everybody in the Liverpool fan base. It certainly is, from this Liverpool fan. Now, Peter Rourke has been saying that Arne Slot is now set to rotate his left back more this season between obviously Milos Kerkez and Andy Robertson. I think this is good news. We won competition for places, and we always knew that a 21-year-old Milos Kerkez coming in wouldn't be the finished article, nor should he be. This is why, to me, it was so pivotal that Andy Robertson stayed this season. And honestly, folks, I think this is the best course of action. Rotate between Milos and Andy, and then may the best man win. We know what Robo brings to the table, and we certainly know what experience and advice that he can pass on to Milos. So, good news, that one for me. Now, Sport Bild have said Benfica presidential candidate Carvalho says that he will sack Bruno Lage and try to persuade former Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp to be the next Benfica coach should he be elected. Best of luck with that. Can't see Jurgen going to manage Benfica in the Portuguese league, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments what you guys. Next up, James Pearce has said Isak and McAllister both training for Liverpool, but Curtis Jones still absent. So Curtis won't be in the matchday squad tomorrow. But great news that Maka is training, and of course great news that we're likely going to see Isak. Now, Mirror Football have said that Manchester City are set to rival Liverpool for the free transfer signing of Marc Guehi next summer when his contract is due to expire. I really don't think we've nothing to worry about here. Now, I don't know it for a fact, so please don't take this as me saying 100% it's going to happen. But I really just feel it is destined that Marc Guehi becomes a Liverpool player. Liverpool did the hard yards. Marc Guehi knows they were willing to pay the price for him. And it was his own chairman at Crystal Palace that pulled the plug on the deal. So I'm saying, I don't think we've got nothing to worry about with Marc Guehi. I think he becomes a Red. Now, Chris Bascom, who's been writing some brilliant stuff recently, so fair play to Chris on that. He said, when the coach and the recruiters set out their plans for an expansive summer revamp, the blueprint was obvious. Arne Slot has a contrasting style to Luis Enrique, but in adding the pace of Alexander Isak, Ugo Ekitike and Jeremy Frimpong, especially, he wanted more of what PSG possesses. In Florian Wirtz, Liverpool also added the number 7, who they hope will bring their 7th European Cup. And I've got to say, makes sense. We'd seen last season how complimentary Arne Slot was of PSG and Luis Enrique, understandably, because they were the best team in Europe last season. So it makes sense for us that the manager wants to have a little bit of that. And to be fair, I wouldn't say no myself. The players we've brought in will absolutely add a lot to us, particularly from pace. Now, let's talk about Ibrahim Konate for a second. A couple of things I need to get off my chest here. Firstly, I have no problem with Ibrahim Konate maybe feeling like people are writing him off there for a couple of bad games and going on social media and replying to posts about that. No problem. But I'm starting to get a little bit annoyed at the amount of times he's just going on to thank people. People like David Lynch, as an example, who are like, let's not forget that Ibrahim Konate is a great player and the contract situation, blah, blah, blah. No argument with that. David is right. Ibrahim Konate is a great player. But you know what I want to hear, Ibu? And I don't know if you will ever see this video or not, mate, but what I'd like to hear as a Liverpool fan is not that you're on social media answering posts. I'd like to hear that you want to stay at Liverpool, because we haven't heard that yet, Ibu. So players like Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk, well, they said they wanted to stay, and it was down to the club agreeing the numbers. Haven't heard that from you, big man. So rather than jumping on social media to give an attaboy to the people who are saying, yes, don't let poor Ibu's form go down, don't worry about poor Ibu. Ibu, sign the contract. Let Liverpool fans you know you want to stay, because the one person who didn't speak out saying they wanted to stay was Trent. What happened there? Trent left the club. So look, Ibu's form has been brilliant for the last 2 games. All of us have said that. First 2 games, he was shaky. We don't know why. That's okay. That happens with players. But we haven't heard him say he wants to stay. So rather than being on social media, having a attaboy to people who are blowing smoke up his backside, how about letting the fan base know what you want to do? Because he's talking about respect and people treating him with respect for the performances, which is fair enough. But what about the fan base, Ibu? What about letting us know that you'd like to stay at Liverpool, or tell us that you're going to Madrid? Either way, I'd like to know, and I'm sure I'm not on my own. Next up, we've got Cody Gakpo, who, believe it or not, is currently the highest rated winger in the Premier League this season, according to Who Scored. And that got me and Connor thinking. Let me know in the comments of better left wingers in the Premier League. And we're not trying to make out here that Cody Gakpo is the greatest player in the world or that's ever played left wing position. He's a very good player and he's one we're grateful to have at the club. But are we at a time now where left wingers are at a premium in world football? We've talked about strikers before. I do feel maybe we're at a time where there isn't a whole gluttony of great left wingers out there. That being said, delighted Cody Gakpo's a Red. Delighted he signed that very well deserved new contract as well, and looking forward to many good years for Cody Gakpo in a Liverpool shirt. Now, Lewis Steele, speaking about Virgil van Dijk, speaking about Diego Simeone, said, last time we played them here, we lost. It was a painful one. It's a team that works so hard, a world-class manager. It says a lot. He's been able to do that at a club for such a long time. They're a very difficult team to beat. They never give up. He's not wrong. They are a very difficult team to beat, and that's why we've got to make sure that we're at it tomorrow night. I'm so excited to have Champions League footy back and can't wait to see if the lads can get the win. Right, so Van Dijk speaking about Isak and Ugo Ekitike. This is what our captain had to say. He's a clinical finisher, heading, left, right, top corners. He's the complete striker at the moment. You can say the same for Hugo. They're a little bit different, but not as much. They have the same quality and are very comfortable on the ball and can link up with players and have pace. That is what has been asked of the modern day striker. Both are a handful. Good, they're both on my side. Hopefully, they can show the opponent what they can do. And look, we all hope that we see Isak get his first Liverpool minutes tomorrow. Arna, well, a word from him in a moment. Good news, it looks like we will. So, Julian Alvarez, said Virgil van Dijk, is a fantastic player. Obviously going to be a big miss for Atletico. But Atletico is a great team, but a fantastic manager. We got to be ready for tomorrow. I'll be ready to go tomorrow. I like that from Virgil. Also, about Isak, and by the way, there's a bromance brewing there, isn't there? There really is. He said, very good impression, very eager. The quality has been on show already. Only positives. Off the pitch, we have conversations. I've spoken to him in the international break and everything was sorted. It's about getting as fit as possible, as quick as possible, and understand how we train, how we press, set pieces. It's been a good week for him. Let's see about tomorrow. Speaking about Milos Kerkez, this is what our captain had to say. A lot of energy, a lot of quality. Milos is learning how we play, intensity of playing for Liverpool and dealing with it on and off the pitch. Not easy, but he's going to be absolutely fine. Now, Arne Slot has said that there is a chance that Isak will make his Liverpool debut tomorrow, but he won't play 90 minutes. No real surprises there, nor should he play 90 minutes. Arna also said, there's some pundits who cannot stop talking about the 450 million we've spent, but they always forget the 300 million we sold for. Yes, I agree. He's right. It's very important to give the full context of these things. Yes, Liverpool spent a lot of money, but as Arne said, we recouped an awful lot of money as well. Also, about Florian Wirtz, Arne said, there's so much focus on the new signings, especially the pundits who prefer the teams who cannot stop talking about the £450 million. I repeat, the £450 million. If we sold Dominic Szoboszlai tomorrow, he'd be worth £100 million as well. And he would. Absolutely. Dom has been our best player this season, and I think this is testament to him. Lots of people were writing him off last year, think that he hadn't settled in. Now we are seeing the very best of Dom, and he's got to be one of the first names on the team sheet. So, speaking about Isak for tomorrow, Arne said this. There's definitely a chance because he's in the squad. 100% sure he won't play 90 minutes, but he will play. And finally, Alex Miller posted to say Liverpool's 10-year deal with Adidas is rumoured to be worth £1 billion. That is a lot of money, ladies and gentlemen. But that is also it from me for now. Bit of a longer video today because we had lots to go through. But I'll see you back here tonight a little bit later than normal. We're going to be going from 9 p.m. tonight with the late night agenda. Can't wait to catch up with you guys. Look forward to reading your comments and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.